Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Com and welcome to City Skylines. We are here in Blue Valley. This is episode number 14 and it has been quite a big task that I made in this episode. We will see this in just a moment, but currently we are building a bridge. Well, not we are building a bridge, I have built a bridge. This is in the past obviously, otherwise I would be pretty fast at building. I thought I made I want to make some podcasts like this. No, not really podcasts, like commentated I commentate what you see on the screen. And they use pretty like it. I got very positive feedback at the last Blue Valley episode and the last new Compton episode where I did the same. And so I'll try to do this again, because maybe I want to explain some things. Well, not maybe, but quite obviously I want to explain some things. Otherwise I would just make a 5-minute long part after the time lapse. And the first thing to explain is the music in the background. It is not jazz, it is not epic music like normally. It is more classical music because I thought this would fit the theme here in this episode. And from the title you've guessed it, and the thumbnail should be pretty clear. We are building a nice palace with a park, like Versailles or something. A Baroque palace. I'm not really sure if the Baroque theme was a thing in Spain, but because Spain is a monarchy still, it would be fitting rather than in New Compton where the US is not a monarchy. And I'm currently laying down some buildings. I have already the big main palace in the middle, and here I'm plopping down the garden palace because that's normally how it works. You have a residence like the main palace, and then you have a garden residence for parties and maybe guests, I'm not sure, but parties surely there. And I'm planning things out. I came up with things on the go. For example, this nice driveway I made there, but I continued it. And now for the layout, I know it is not really the most scientifically correct layout. When I say it's a French park, there's if you don't know what this means, there are basically two main park, how do I want to say it? Two main park editions. Well, there are two main categories in these parks and gardens. One is the French garden and the English garden. The French garden has a very strict layout, like I made here with squares, for example, or just a very strict layout. And the English garden wants to imitate nature. You probably have seen English gardens before because, they are quite popular, and French gardens too. Well, not so much anymore because of the modern arts are a bit different, and here I'm plopping down those park generators, but I'm deleting them because they're too big, and the people would stand in the flowers. Also another feature of the French parks are all those hedges and the square garden fields. Because as I said before, the French garden wants to show man's influence on the nature in the garden, whilst the English garden wants to replicate nature. As well, with some tweaks and changes, everything is much smoother than in the real nature. but it is still, it still wants to replicate it. Yeah, currently I'm just plopping down those hatches. Actually, they are not called hatches in the game; they're called bush. Yeah, you can see it. You can see the word bush in the search box there. The search box was very handy in this episode because of all the different things. And yeah, if you're already talking about mods, there's the new awesome mod. I don't know the name exactly, but it's it allows you to plop props onto buildings, and it was so awesome. It came out the day after I recorded this, and I thought for a second then, when I saw it for the first time, I may come back to this palace and apply some props to the roofs or so. But after a second thought and the footage, I rewatched the footage, and I could not really figure out a place where to put props, because those buildings are quite are very detailed, fortunately. Yeah, and also another problem would be the frame rate, because after all those flowers that I will place in, I will have about 6 to 8 FPS. Yeah, but and I'm still not finished. This episode won't be finished. Because of time, and also because the putting in flowers is very repetitive, and that's why I cut about 50% of it out. So the time lapse is 18 minutes long, which translates to about 2.5 hours of real time, and there's still about 50% not in there. Yeah, so it was a very long task, and I thought I would this would be past my limit, or you know what I'm capable of doing. But I finished it. It is not like the new Compton Harbor, which is in production since ages. Yeah, I'm very sorry for that, but I hope to finish it this weekend. And then maybe make a video of this weekend, or maybe next week. Let's see. Yeah, here is my try to make a maze. It does not really work out. It does not work out at all, because the maze, yeah, it is rather easy to walk through it for firstly, and also the maze is not really looking like a maze in a palace garden, because those mazes are normally on a square grid, but this maze is all over the place. But still, I try to make my best, and now it's more like a park with hatches in it. Yeah. And unfortunately, from those are the vanilla hatches, and there does not exist a smaller version of this. So I had to improvise with smaller things. You've seen me placing down here it was. I placed down a couple of hatches next to each other, and then I put some bushes on them to hide this. Yeah, also the movie tool was quite handy because of how the prop line tool behaves, and to make nice corners. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And here we go then with the flowers. I didn't really have one color palette, because that's not how it is, how those Baroque French gardens work. I had multiple color combinations, like for example red, white and yellow. Red and yellow obviously being colors of the Spanish flag, and white as a good border. Here you see me placing down those white things, the white bushes. I was at this point still trying to figure out how to make these fields, these flower fields, as squared as possible. And here is what I've come up with. I delete some again. And then there are other colors like blue, which are very nice colors in these gardens. If you just look at one field, they don't really match together. For example, here, what is this light blue, white, red, and blue? This does not really make any sense. But if you look from the sky, which nobody there will ever see it. If you look from the sky, it looks good, and City Skylines is supposed to look good from the sky, not from the ground. But still, it is very nice to walk through this in the first-person mode. Yeah, I may make some POVs in the next episode. And yeah, here is a big cut, as you can see. And yeah, I try to mix all those things up. Like here, I'm putting down random flowers. This doesn't really make sense in a French garden, as I said earlier in this episode. But I still wanted to do it, maybe because there was a new monarch and they wanted to change up the garden a bit, because I mean, hey, it's still his land. And although this is a public park, it will be if the king or if the royal family is in the residence. By the way, this is the summer residence, not the royal palace. The royal palace would be in Madrid. But if they want to escape the dry heat of Madrid, they can come to the coast here in Blue Valley and live in this ridiculously oversized summer residence. Because I mean, really, the space I have assigned for this summer residence is roughly the same space, or roughly the same size as the whole downtown of Santa Palma. So a bit ridiculously oversized. And obviously because Spain is a Catholic nation, and a very Catholic nation indeed, I wanted to include a church, because why not? Other palaces have chapels. This palace has an own church. I mean, why not? Because they are rulers, and they once ruled over an empire with the size of a whole South America, almost. So why not? And here I'm terraforming a bit to get in this residence. I assigned a purpose to all those buildings. This, for example, is a bureau for the monarch to oversee his country, or well, it may have been built, in the 18th century, where the Spanish Empire was very strong, and so he needed a place to manage his empire, and there it is. And there is also an old residence. This main palace was built in the 18th century, or maybe 19th, because of the Baroque style. But there was an older residence. Why not? I mean, if they have the money, they can do it. And here's some more flower fields. Yeah, I was not sure if I want to make a podcast format like this, because on one hand it is a very long time lapse, and it would be boring to see 18 minutes of just me placing down things and hearing to music. Well, the music part would not be too bad, I reckon, but it's 18 minutes that I could have spent talking to you. And yeah. But on the other hand, it's just flowers. Flowers everywhere. Fortunately, we are now in the last 3 minutes of the time lapse, so I just have to come up with one topic. And here you can see it from the whole area. As said, it is quite a huge area. It is actually ridiculously oversized. Except if I named the thing Versailles, then it would be pretty small. But Versailles is in France, not in Spain. Also, this is not finished. Next episode, I will finish up everything and make a village, and I'll dress up the Skylines you've seen in the intro, and also make it more touristy. For example, adding parking lots. Maybe not too many, because this island is not supposed to be open for traffic. It is supposed to be open for buses mainly. So I won't make too much traffic. And actually, when I made this part of the thing, I firstly I thought I would make a Swedish flag because of the orange, and then I made a Swedish Union Jack. I mean, why not? But I'm going to fill this in. I think with red and white. Yeah, exactly. You know the red, white, yellow color scheme I made? I mentioned earlier. Here we are. Here we go. And yeah, it is in the time lapse. This park, I'm not so sure about it because it does not really follow the standards of a French park or a French garden, because there are some random things in it. For example, those rocks and other plants. But maybe you know something about gardens and can tell in the comments, because now my time-lapse time is over, and but bear with me, because there is still a very nice cinematic park. So if you've liked this video, then you can leave a like. If you want to see more of New Company or Blue Valley, you can subscribe, and my Twitters is down in the description to announce live streams and previews, exclusive previews. So in just a second the thing will start, and I hope you've liked this episode, and goodbye.